Hi everyone, coming at you with a quick episode talking about the Marvel previews June for books shipping in August. Right off the bat, we got some of these Disney Cross X-Men covers that are coming. Those will be fun. I'm not one to pick up a book just for a cover per se, but some of these are tempting to get just because they're kind of fun, different. Uncanny X-Men #1. We'll definitely be picking this one up. Keeping the Dream Alive. Core group of essential X-Men rise from the ashes to face a world without a home and without Professor X. Oh no. It looks like this one's led by Rogue, I think, from what I can tell. So that's interesting. Art looks good. David Marquez. Gail Simone's writing, so that's cool. So looking forward to that one. What's next? What's next on my list here? X Factor. So from the ashes of Krakoa, a new mutant arms race sweeps the globe. International governments are building their own mutant armies. Only America's X Factor has the most powerful, most patriotic, most marketable mutant heroes to stem the tide and make the world safe for democracy. So it looks interesting. Mark Russell's the writer, Bob Quinn's the artist. So it sounds like an interesting premise for X-Team. And then X-Men #2 and 3 are coming out in August. So probably be picking those up. Avengers 17, Storm joins the Avengers. So I hadn't liked the Avengers comics up to this point. The newer one that started recently, obviously 17's about a little over a year ago. Haven't been too impressed with it, so Storm coming in, okay, we'll mix up, we'll shake up, and we'll check it out. Let's see what happens. Phoenix #2 releases in August, so I've always liked the story of Phoenix, and of course this is going to be more the cosmic side of X-Men, which is cool, so I'm definitely be checking that out as well. Then Ultraman Cross Avengers. I love kaiju, giant robots. I mean, this is right up my alley. It's like they knew what I wanted. So I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. Says Spider-Man has disappeared from New York. An intergalactic invader has arrived on Ultraman's doorstep, and the kaiju of Earth are acting even more mysteriously than usual. This can mean only one thing. It's time for Ultraman to meet the Avengers. So it's one of those. It's a 4-issue miniseries. It's just for fun, and that's some of my favorite stories because it's probably not gonna take itself too seriously, and it's just gonna be fun. Lots of Spider books. I've been kind of staying away from all the Spider books for the most part. But Spider Society looks interesting. I like all the Spider-Verse characters are in there, so that looks cool. So I'll probably be picking that up. And then, of course, the Ultimate books have been solid, so still planning on keeping up with Black Panther, the Ultimates, X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man. All of those will likely continue on for me in August. Namor, which actually started the month before in July. Big fan of Namor as a character, so it's a 8-issue miniseries, so I'll be probably picking that up in August as well, unless the first issue really is a stinker, which I have a feeling it won't be, but that's okay. And then Fantastic Four, 23 and 24 in August. And so, yeah, it's amazing. Been going on for 2 years with all these amazing Alex Ross covers, and the stories have been solid for the most part. Just getting back to the core classic Fantastic Four sci-fi storytelling, that to me is what is at the core of Fantastic Four, and they're for the most part kind of standalone. They don't have to. Usually, it's one issue and you get a complete story. It's like watching the old Twilight Zone series or something like that. But very episodic. There's a couple of storyline threads that go throughout, but for the most part, you could pick up a single issue and get a nice little self-contained story and have fun with it, and that's it. So I really like that about the series. So definitely looking forward to that in August. Get 2 issues instead of just 1. Marvel 85th Anniversary Special is next up on here. That's a one-shot. I'm going to try to get the wraparound variant cover by Scott Young, which is his big Marvels line of character drawings, so that'll be fun. Honestly, I know I said I don't usually buy books for covers, but if I get a Scotty Young cover, if whatever's inside is fine, but I want that wraparound Scotty Young cover. All right, Immortal 4. Pretty a solid series. I've gotten behind on the series a little bit, so I have a few issues to catch up on, but I think I'm up to issue 7 or 8, so I definitely have a lot of catching up to do with that. But likely, unless, again, those issues I read in the next few days are stinkers, I will likely continue with them with Thor. The Inquisitors, Star Wars Inquisitors 2 of 4. Interesting. I like Inquisitors as a idea, and the characters are interesting from the various Star Wars series, so this looks like it might be a nice 4-issue miniseries. Again, releases in July, so unless the first issue is really bad, then I will likely pick it up. And recently it was announced that Darth Vader and Star Wars are ending with issue 50, and then at some point this year they're going to, I guess, reboot them, or maybe they'll go a whole different direction. So, of course, the Star Wars books have all been in that time period between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So there's lots of speculation. So what's going to happen? Is it going to be, what time period is the Star Wars books going to shift to? I would like to see, personally, the Star Wars books go after Return of the Jedi and talk about that time period, because there's a whole lot that they could explore there that could kind of set up things that happened in Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all those things. So I would definitely like to see some of that, or even more like an expounding on, like how Luke became the person that he was in The Last Jedi. How did he get so jaded? And, he mentioned some things, but if we had a series that could kind of explore that a little bit more, kind of flesh that out, and maybe that would make the whole situation more palatable for the fans. I don't know, but that's another interesting thing that they could do with the comic series. Well, I think that about does it for Marvel. Again, this is going to be books that are shipping in August. So I think the X books are definitely the standouts in this month. And then the Ultimate books have been really solid. So those are going to be probably the big ones for me that I'm looking forward to in August, with a couple other miniseries and such on the side. So, all right, well, that's all I have for this episode. I've been Jonathan, and you've been listening to Comic Talk Cafe.